Welcome to today's training. My name is Araceli Mendoza, and I am the Program Specialist for the McKinney Vento program. I'm also known as the Homeless Liaison. In today's training, we will cover the McKinney Vento Homeless Assistance Act, some definitions, unaccompanied youth, identification, educational rights, and how I can help. The McKinney Vento Homeless Assistance Act is a federal law that was originally signed in 1987. The federal law protects the rights of homeless students to enroll in, attend, and succeed in public schools. The law was recently reauthorized in 2015 under the Every Student Succeeds Act. One of the major changes made to the McKinney Vento Act occurred in December of 2016. The phrase awaiting foster care was removed from the law. Therefore, students who are in foster care no longer qualify under the McKinney Vento law. Other changes to the law include expanding the definition of school of origin to include public, preschools, and receiving or feeder schools. Additionally, the law focuses on improving college readiness and on unaccompanied homeless youth. In the next slides, we'll define the term homelessness and school of origin. The McKinney Vento law defines homelessness as children and youth who lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence. Some of the examples of this include children and youth sharing the housing of others due to loss of housing, economic hardship, or similar reason. We call this doubling up. Children and youth living in motels, hotels, or camping grounds due to a lack of adequate alternative accommodations, living in shelters or in transitional housing shelters, living in cars, abandoned buildings, train stations, or in a similar setting. The law extends to migratory children and unaccompanied youth who live in the above circumstances. True or false? McKinney Vento students are allowed to enroll in any school they choose. That is false. Students who qualify under the McKinney Vento law have the right to enroll in their school of origin. The law defines school of origin as a school the child or youth last attended when permanently housed, or the school in which the child or youth last enrolled. This includes public preschools and feeder or receiving school. Lastly, the student can attend in their neighborhood school. According to the McKinney Vento Act, an unaccompanied homeless student is a child or youth not in the physical custody of a parent or legal guardian. In practical terms, this usually means that the student is living apart from his or her parent or guardian. An unaccompanied youth qualifies as homeless if he or she lacks a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence. Up to this point, we have learned what the definition of homelessness is and school of origin. We will now go over how we identify and determine if a student qualifies under the McKinney Vento law. Who can determine if a student is McKinney Vento eligible? A, the superintendent, B, parent or guardian, C, the student, or D, the homeless liaison? The answer is D. The homeless liaison for the school district has the authority and the responsibility to ensure that eligible students are identified. Some of the ways our office tries to identify children and youth who may be experiencing homelessness is by informing parents, guardians, and students about the McKinney Vento law. Some of the many ways we try to do this is by placing a McKinney Vento questionnaire in the student's registration packet. The questionnaire not only has information about the law, but also serves as a screening tool. We also try to place posters about the law in local shelters and in schools. We also provide training about this law to various community organizations and school personnel. Which brings me to the McKinney Vento referral form. If you suspect a child or youth in your school may be experiencing homelessness, please let us know. One of the ways you can let us know is by using the McKinney Vento referral form. If your school or office does not have a copy of this form, please let us know, and we'll try to give you a copy. Students who qualify as homeless under the McKinney Vento Act have educational rights. The student has the right to immediately enroll in school, even if the student lacks the paperwork normally required to enroll, such as birth certificates, proof of residency, or guardianship paperwork. Also, as explained earlier, the student has the right to enroll in their school of origin or their neighborhood school. The student also has the right to receive school transportation to and from their school of origin, only if it is determined to be in their best interest and if it's feasible. The student also has the right to access educational programs for which they are eligible for. Lastly, the student is automatically enrolled in the free lunch program. Once our office identifies and determines if the student is McKinney Vento eligible, we will ensure that the student is immediately enrolled in the free lunch program. We can also provide the students with school supplies, uniforms, cap and gown assistance, graduation supply assistance. We can pay for school fees, provide toiletries, and also set up school transportation to and from their school of origin. We can also refer the student to the Angel Tree program. This program is only offered to unaccompanied homeless high school youth, and again, it's only by referral. Lastly, I wanted to introduce you to Glenn. Glenn graduated from Sunnyside High School in 2015. He was referred to our office by school personnel. Our office determined that indeed this young man was an unaccompanied homeless youth. Because of the McKinney Vento law, Glenn was able to enroll and attend school as an unaccompanied homeless youth until he graduated. Glenn also participated in the Angel Tree in 2014 and again in 2017, but as a guest speaker. He spoke to the students about his experience as an unaccompanied homeless student. He provided the students with hope and inspiration. Glenn is a student at the University of Arizona and is doing extremely well for himself. We're very proud of the work that he has done. This is an example why the McKinney Vento law is so important. We have come to the end of the presentation. If you should have any questions about this presentation or the law, or if you have a student that you suspect may be experiencing homelessness, please reach out to us. Our office is located at the Los Ranchitos Administration Annex. Thank you so much for your time.